Trump didn't tweet. He exploded. When Canada's Ministry of Innovation froze more than 43 million CAD in EV rebates, most of it tied to Tesla, he reportedly accused Ottawa of coordinated retaliation for his February campaign threat to impose 25% tariffs on Canadian auto exports. The decision followed an internal audit revealing Tesla had logged 8,753 rebate claims in 72 hours, triple the program's monthly average. Internal audit memos obtained by the Globe and Mail indicate that Tesla manipulated eligibility thresholds by listing Model 3 base trims at 54,990 CAD, just $10 under the qualifying cap, then upselling customers with post-sale upgrades, effectively turning non-qualifying cars into rebate-eligible ones. When the freeze was announced, Trump reportedly erupted in a private Mar-a-Lago briefing, accusing Canada of coordinated retaliation for his February 18th campaign vow to impose 25% tariffs on all Canadian auto imports if elected. But Canadian officials deny political motives, citing fraud risk and system abuse as the reason for the freeze. Still, the timing raised eyebrows across the industry and set the stage for what may be Tesla's most contentious international audit yet. Tesla's pricing strategy in Canada has triggered accusations of regulatory manipulation after Transport Canada flagged inconsistencies between advertised vehicle prices and real-world transactions. Analysts at BloombergNEF noted that nearly 89% of Model 3 rebate claims in Q1 2025 involved configurations that exceeded the base trim by at least $4,000, suggesting widespread reliance on technical loopholes. Canadian MP Brian Mass described it as a systemic circumvention of the rebate mechanism, while Reuters reports that Transport Canada is investigating whether Tesla violated Clause 7.1 of the IZEV framework, which prohibits post-sale pricing adjustments that negate eligibility criteria. Tesla maintains it complied fully with the rules, yet multiple dealerships admitted in interviews that base models were not stocked and could only be ordered online, fueling criticism that the rebate system was gamed by software-based price slicing. The real issue now, whether Tesla's strategy represents creative compliance or exploitative engineering of public funds. Between February 23rd and 25th, Tesla Canada processed 8,753 new vehicle deliveries, a volume that outpaced Ford, Hyundai, and GM's combined EV sales in Canada for the entire month, according to data from Desrosiers Automotive Consultants. The spike followed a limited-time fleet clearance email campaign targeting subscribers with rebates attached to pre-configured units already above the standard trim. One internal Tesla training memo, leaked to the Toronto Star, encouraged staff to tell buyers the rebate applies at checkout regardless of final spec, raising questions about deceptive sales practices. Canada's Auditor General has since launched a formal review of Tesla's participation in the IZEV program, and according to CBC News, the Privy Council Office has also ordered a cross-departmental review of how software upgrade-based pricing models are regulated under federal incentive programs. Tesla has not commented on the investigation, but quietly disabled its Model 3 rebate eligibility calculator on March 6th, a move industry observers interpret as a sign the legal stakes are rising fast. Former Bank of England Governor and current Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney has emerged as an unexpected force behind the crackdown on Tesla's Canadian rebate access, reportedly advising Prime Minister Trudeau to tighten subsidy eligibility and decouple EV funding from U.S. automakers vulnerable to political volatility. According to the Wall Street Journal, Carney warned in a February 2025 cabinet briefing that continued exposure to companies entangled in U.S. electoral chaos risked undermining Canada's green industrial strategy. The recommendation followed Trump's threat to slap $25 billion in tariffs on Canadian auto exports if subsidies distort U.S. competitiveness. Sources told Maclean's magazine that Carney's strategic advice was not limited to economic planning. He also urged Trudeau to insulate Canada from regulatory hostage-taking tied to U.S. politics. Critics argue this represents politicization of EV policy, but defenders say Carney is reasserting national control over public funds amid a climate of trade intimidation. Either way, the result is the same. Tesla is now collateral in a geopolitical recalibration of green industry alliances. A 25% tariff on Canadian auto exports, as promised by Trump during his February rally in Michigan, would disrupt a supply chain that moves more than $38 billion in electric vehicle components annually across the US-Canada border. According to S&P Global Mobility, Tesla alone sources 62% of its Canadian assembled battery enclosures and drivetrain casings from Ontario-based suppliers, dependent on tariff-free logistics under USMCA. A March 2025 Reuters analysis warns that Trump's tariff threat could force Tesla to reroute production through Mexico, raising per-unit costs by up to $3,400 and adding 5 to 7 weeks to delivery times. Auto industry economist Kristen Zichek of the Center for Automotive Research said, these tariffs would hollow out the EV manufacturing spine of North America and delay U.S. EV adoption by at least 2 years. Moreover, the U.S. Treasury is modeling inflationary spillovers, projecting a 0.4% rise in consumer vehicle prices by Q3 2025 if the tariffs are enacted. The irony? Trump's attempt to punish Canada could make American EVs less affordable at home. In early March, police in Ontario, Quebec, and British Columbia opened coordinated investigations into vandalism at 5 Tesla dealerships, following a string of attacks involving spray-painted slogans, shattered glass panels, and disabled superchargers. RCMP reports cited over 320,000 CAD in damages within 10 days, coinciding with the federal IZEV rebate freeze. Graffiti reading "no subsidy scams" and tax cheats out suggests the backlash is rooted in public frustration over Tesla's alleged abuse of government incentives. According to CTV News, some owners now claim they were misled into believing they'd qualify for the $5,000 rebate, only to be denied post-sale, raising consumer protection concerns. A Change.org petition demanding full transparency in EV pricing amassed over 62,000 signatures in 1 week. As civil complaints mount, Tesla's brand perception in Canada is deteriorating. A March 2025 Angus Reid poll shows trust in Tesla among Canadian EV buyers has fallen from 68% to 41% in just 6 weeks, raising the question, is the backlash still about policy, or has it become personal? Elon Musk's public praise of Germany's far-right AfD party in November 2024 triggered immediate backlash in Brussels, where EU regulators launched a probe into Tesla's supply chain transparency and its compliance with anti-subsidy rules tied to Chinese imports. Le Monde reports that the EU Commission is scrutinizing Tesla Berlin's sourcing of battery components from CATL, a Chinese firm under review for forced labor links. According to EU trade data analyzed by Bloomberg, Tesla's market share in Europe dropped to 7.8% in Q1 2025, down from 10.3% a year earlier, with France and the Netherlands seeing double-digit declines. European Parliament member Manfred Weber said publicly that Musk's flirtation with extremist politics undermines Tesla's license to operate in the European market. Meanwhile, labor unions in Sweden and Norway have called for broader boycotts, citing both labor disputes and political alignment. In a region where green policy is tightly interwoven with social values, Musk's alignment with far-right ideology may be costing Tesla more than just subsidies. It may be isolating the company from the EU's most critical policy circles. Tesla's Q1 2025 delivery report revealed a 12.7% global sales decline, marking the steepest quarterly drop since 2018. According to Bloomberg NEF, Model 3 sales in Europe fell 22% year over year, while Canadian deliveries are down 29% following the rebate controversy. The Model Y, long considered Tesla's growth engine, is losing ground to competitors like BYD's Seal and Hyundai's Ioniq 6, with BYD overtaking Tesla as the world's largest EV seller in January. Meanwhile, U.S. inventory levels hit a 19-month high in March, signaling demand softening even in Tesla's core market. J.D. Power's latest consumer survey indicates that Tesla's customer satisfaction index dropped to 714 out of 1,000, the lowest in the EV category, largely due to price opacity and political controversies. Industry analyst Tony Sacconaghi from Bernstein wrote, Tesla is no longer competing on innovation. It's stuck defending its margins, its brand, and its global standing all at once. With shrinking loyalty and intensifying competition, Tesla's dominance appears no longer assumed but actively threatened. Tesla has initiated legal proceedings under Canada's Access to Information Act to compel the release of internal government communications surrounding the rebate freeze, a likely prelude to litigation. But legal scholars, including Michael Geist of the University of Ottawa, caution that proving regulatory bias will be difficult, especially since IZEV eligibility hinges on clearly defined price thresholds. Meanwhile, the company's $805 billion market cap has already shed $72 billion in value since February, driven by investor fears of shrinking margins and reputational fallout. A March 2025 Wall Street Journal piece revealed that Tesla's legal team is considering filing for injunctive relief, arguing the sudden rebate freeze constitutes retroactive punishment for program compliance. Yet even if the courts side with Tesla, the brand faces mounting damage in markets like Canada and Germany, where public trust, not courtroom victories, determine long-term sales. As former Tesla exec Gene Munster told CNBC, "You can win the lawsuit and still lose the war if customers walk away, and right now, they're walking." So here's the question no one wants to answer. If Tesla loses its grip on North America and Europe at the same time, where does it go next? And can it survive that kind of collapse? Because as we speak, leaked documents from Mexico's Ministry of Energy suggest a pending investigation into Tesla's compliance with North American battery origin rules at its Nuevo Leon facility, a violation that could disqualify it from USMCA trade benefits and torch its entire regional strategy. But tell us, who's really driving this crisis? Is it Musk's strategy? Is it Trump's tariffs? Or are governments finally pushing back against Silicon Valley's biggest empire? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're glad you're enjoying this video. Please like and subscribe. Check out another video that is now on your screen.